Hello and welcome to this week's Week in Focus, where we center on Islam now, Islam today, the features, the action, the activity that goes on in the Islam world. Now, thank you very much for tuning in onto the Muslim channel. We're actually broadcasting live here at the .NET Broadcasters Studios. Now, we are here. If you are there and you're interested in broadcasting, live streaming, production of content, look no further. Reach out to us at the .NET Broadcaster Studio. We are at Salama Road in Munyonyo. Now tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is a continuation with myself and fellow journalist, researcher, and student, Ashaba Hajara. We're going to be discussing, we're going to be talking about these coups that are not ending. We had a coup in Chad, we had one in Mali, and now we're having one in Guinea-Bissau in Conakry. Now on the 5th of September, which was last Sunday, the leader, the coup leader, like Hajara likes to say it, not terrorists, just a coup leader, came out on national TV and said, hey, we have taken over power from President Alpha Conde. Now the man that has been in the seat for over 3 terms. Now President Conde took power from 2010, re-elected again in 2015, and he had just been re-elected again in 2020. Now for more, we discuss with Ashaba Hajara what this means to the UK, what this means to Islam states, because these are 4 coups in 1 year, and all these are African but Islamic states. Now after the break, I put Hajara on the spot. She tells us, she explains more. Do not go away. After the break, we dive deep. Now on the 5th, as we were following last Sunday, Damboya, the coup leader, goes on national TV and says that the president was not doing anything, that after all this while from independence, the roads are still like that. The health facilities, there's nothing to talk about. The economy of the country, nothing to talk about. So he seized power by force. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashaba Hajara is here as we dig deep. Thank you for coming today, Hajara.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm always expectant on seeing you. I'm always really happy because you're going to give us some facts. And I put you on the spot. Last time you won, this time I'm not so sure. Because again, Muslim country, 4 times in 1 year. Let's just paint a picture. Is it a faith thing, or the countries are not really doing well?
First, to the listeners and those watching us, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon. We are very glad to have you on board, as always. It's not, I wouldn't want to address it as a Muslim issue, but rather as a collective African problem. But then it comes down to there is a time as trying to discuss that there is a great debacle in being a woman, in being black, being African, and being Muslim. It sounds much like a tragedy. So when you're a Muslim country and you're in Africa, it is really a problem. So I would address it first generally as an African state, because we have Muslim countries beyond the borders of Africa that are not experiencing coup d'etats. But then, so specifically, I would look at it being an Islamic issue, but first I would have to look at it as an African problem.
It's an African problem.
Coups are an African problem.
Leaders overstay in power. The other time, was it in Mali where the deputy president came and took over? What is it? Is this greed? What do we call this?
If you look at a country like Guinea, we are talking about Guinea Conakry. The current leader, the co-leader, is Mamadou Doumbouya.
I was calling him Damboya. Name looks scary already.
It does, and someone may relate it to Lumbia, but regardless,
I know.
And if you look, he's the fourth leader of Guinea Conakry. They had Sékou Touré. Now, Sékou Touré was the first leader from 1957 to 1984. But he did something that no one else on earth has done. When they dethroned Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana in 1966, Sékou Touré invited him over and they collared together. So when he was overthrown, there came in Lassana Conte in 84, who was the president until 2008. So we see after his death, Guinea gets the first democratically elected president. Alpha Conde. Alpha Conde was 2010. 2010.
So we're seeing 2 decades later is when we get democracy.
Actually close to 5.
Close to 5 decades?
Yes. Actually, after 5 decades and a few years, because they got independence.
57.
After
and then
that.
2010, 5 decades.
Yes. After 5 decades, they get their first democratically elected leader. He was a human rights activist. He was a Democrat by all definitions. 2010. Then last year, he amends the constitution to get a 3rd term. This always happens in Africa. We normally say that Idris Deby, the Chadian leader, Chad, another country that had a leader being replaced by a military man after the death of Idris Deby, another Muslim country. And then, so he's the one that started lifting term limits. Museveni followed. So normally when people like Alpha Conde revisit constitutions and lift term limits, we say Museveni and Idris Deby because of this problem. But it is greed on the part of a man like Alpha Conde. It is greed, it's entirely on him. It is even greed on a man like Mamadi Doumbouya. We may say that he has saved Guinea, but I don't think he has.
No, because think about it. Doumbouya has a point. He says, after all these years, you've had 10, 11 years in power, and roads are not made. Health facilities is nothing to talk about. Education, forget. The economy, nothing to talk about. I think he has a point.
Yeah, well, he has the point.
And he was on his military guard.
He was actually in charge.
He could have killed him, but he's merciful enough.
Is he?
I think so.
You see, if you have seen an 83-year-old man, if you take away power from an 83-year-old man, you have actually killed him.
So he's killed him?
Yeah.
So what does this mean to the Muslim West countries?
If you look, fairly speaking, West Africa is Muslim dominated, but it just shows us how much we don't learn. We as Africans, as Muslims, we don't, there have been pictures circulating of Doumbouya's relationship with the EU. Now, normally when we have a leader, someone from the military overthrowing a government, they are normally supported by the West. And you have a country with 4/5 of the population Muslim, less than 1% is Christian, mainly they are Catholics. So, and they are considered either the second or the biggest producer of bauxite in the world, an element that is used to fine-tune and whatever, aluminium. They have class 1 iron ore, they have gold. So if you have plenty of minerals, and a country that is doing terribly, you have plenty of minerals, but you're surviving on subsistence agriculture, and you have the EU supporting a coup, and you're a Muslim country, then you know that you have failed at your job as citizens.
So wait, is this you now trying to say, as we're going for a short break, but is this you trying to say that Doumbouya collaborating with the EU is a problem? It
is a problem.
So you prefer Alpha Conde, who's done nothing for 11 years?
No, I don't prefer either. You see, I don't think that Africans should settle for evil options, bad examples, both.
So, me collaborating with a superpower is evil?
Yes.
All the time?
Yes.
Is that all the time? Because, come on, we get grants, you know, we get medical donations.
Grants at the expense of what?
At the expense of what? You tell me.
Yeah, because you don't get anything from the West for free. That is the problem. It's that you are going to get $1 million that has been stolen from, say, Ukraine or Venezuela, and they're going to give it to you in Uganda. Then you have to pay it back with gold in Karamoja. So actually you're paying them for something that did not come from their treasury, but you're paying it back at interests.
Yeah, but is this conspiracy, or these things actually happen? Do these people really exploit us? Do they take our gold?
But these things happen. If you go look at the IMF, you look at the World Bank, you look at their sustainability, you look at what they take every time they give a country a loan. Or simple example, you look at a country like the USA. They say we are going to give aid to Uganda. Most recent example. But what Uganda is going to do for us is harbor Afghan refugees. Now you ask yourself, as a country like Uganda, how do you find yourself in that?
No, they made you better, so extend the hand also.
How? You're giving me a loan, I am paying it back with interest, but then I have to give you things like a military base. You have to call me that I have to go to Somalia, so I end up losing sons and daughters in that process.
No, we voluntarily, the president of our country the other day was saying that we have our military facilities big enough to help anyone. So, so we volunteer these people. It's not like we are working on gunpoint and we gave you this ticket.
No, but if we did volunteer, that would be an invasion in as far as international law is concerned. So you have to have people that have countries like Somalia under their thumb, so they can invite you after speaking to a country like Somalia, the guys that actually have more military power, to allow you in. So you take your military personnel to train and have the experience exposed from there. But there is no way Uganda can wake up and we say that a conflict is going on in Sri Lanka. We say we have enough military officers that are not doing anything. Let's cross over and go. It does not work like that.
Ashaba Hajara, you can never nail her to the cross or put her to the wall. Now, we go for a short break and we come back. We discuss the future of this 12.7 million people country. What next with the roads in that state, the health facility in that state, the education in that state? After the break, we dive deeper and we see what next. Do not go away. We are live and we're coming back. And welcome back. Now, you can follow this very lovely discussion on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That is for the Muslim channel. And then also click to subscribe, in that every time we upload something or we go live, you're the first to know. Now, click that bell for notifications just in case. Now, we're still broadcasting live through the Muslim channel here at our home at the .NET Broadcasters Studio. Now, they're always open. They are broadcasters, they're content creators, they do live streaming, walk-in, or call the number on your screen right now. Now, Hajara, as we discuss the future of Guinea, like the relations, what can we, or what can the Muslim nations do to harmonize the relationship between, say, UAE, say, Saudi Arabia, and the West African Muslim nations? Well, how can we harmonize them? Because maybe there would be help, I don't know.
To be fair, even if Libya used to help, Gaddafi used to help, but there isn't so much you can offer. First of all...
Really? There isn't so much you can offer?
No.
Look at Dubai, for instance. Just Dubai, the city. My goodness. They have so much to offer to poor countries like Guinea.
But what have they done?
Exactly, so advise the discussion.
Let's use the example of Guinea-Conakry that we have on the table right now. You have Mamadi coming into power by the help of either the EU, the US, be it anyone. So when he gets into power, he has an establishment to put in place. But advised by those that facilitated his coming into power. So when you say now UAE does not have good intentions. I actually wouldn't trust UAE. I don't trust Muslim nations that deal with Israel amicably. I don't.
Why? Now here you go and introduce a very important aspect of Israel. Why wouldn't you trust a Muslim nation that is dealing with Israel? Because
what about Islam and supporting it is inhabited by Israel? If you look, and Israel is not just anti-Islam, Israel is anti-humanity. If you look at
there she goes.
No, seriously. If you look, there was a woman called Rachel. I can't remember her second name. She was American. In 2011, she stood and she said they were demolishing settlements of Palestinians, and she said, "I am not moving." You know what? You know what the Jews did? They demolished her with the buildings.
They killed her.
Yes. So to them,
but she's distracting a move. She's distracting a developmental move.
It is not. You see, if Rwanda decides to develop Ruhama, it's not a developmental move. You're encroaching on a Ugandan territory. So Uganda can retaliate, or Uganda can choose to back off and keep quiet, just like Rwanda has been killing Ugandans and Uganda keeps looking on. It always works that way. So if you find, but if you look at the records from 1948 to today, and what Israel has done to Palestinians, if a Muslim is dealing with Israel, I don't know what for. If you're Saudi and you're dealing with Israel more than you are trying to give a hand to Palestinians, more than you are trying to voice the kinds of wrong things that are being done by Israel against Palestine, then I don't know what your agenda is. But
haven't you politicized the faith?
But how can you detach politics from the faith?
Why? Okay, same thing like my guy Hassan here. To get to Sale, that's it. Let's go and pray. It's about the faith. This is what we're going to do.
No, it's more than the faith. If you look at the development of faiths, if you look at how Catholicism spread through 16th century Europe, if you look at the fightings between the Protestants and the Catholics, if you look at how the Seventh-day Adventists came up, if you look at Orthodox Christians, if you look at the development of Islam, politics and religion have always been two fingers on the same hand. It has always been blood and iron.
In bed together. We're digressing. Let's get back. Okay, you do not advise or you do not want the help from UAE, but let's accept it's a bigger brother among all the Muslim states.
Actually,
how do they help us?
Actually, it's not that I am against the help from the UAE going to Guinea, but I am saying at what expense? Who has sent UAE? Because those dynamics come into place.
No one is saying, hey, Hajara, we're saying, UAE felt it, we're all Muslim nations, you're my younger brother. I have an upper hand, I want to help you. Whether I'm affiliated to Israel or not, so are you saying indirectly if UAE came, Israel would have a hand to do in the help that they're trying to extend to their fellow Muslim nation?
I'm saying if UAE came, America would be behind it, and by extension Israel.
It's too much politics. This is so much conspiracy because let's just think about it.
No.
Guinea needs help. Saudi comes out, UAE comes out, and then you start saying, I won't take your help because you're American funded. Because you have a hand in America.
I'm not saying that Guinea should not take Saudi's help. It's just that Saudi is not coming through. Whether a Muslim or not, Saudi is not going to come through unless they have been sent by America. Saudi Arabia is in Yemen, for example.
How sure can we be, Hajara? How sure can we be that they cannot come on their own? Did it get that bad? Did we cross the lines?
Because we can sit and give it 2 years, and we know that Saudi won't come through. And we know that being Muslim doesn't get you pro-Saudi. We know that Muslim countries have not done enough to give each other a hand. Muslims themselves, Gaddafi was killed by Libyans.
But there was a conspiracy that it was Americans.
It was American funded. The Arab Spring was funded by the Obama administration. That is public knowledge. I'm just saying that whatever the case, you get aid from whoever you want, but it is not clear-cut, it's not black and white, that China can give Doumbouya help right now, because this one was supported by the EU to overthrow a sitting government. So,
who is the EU?
Well, 28 countries of Western Europe and a few from Eastern Europe. But you would look
at... And they have bad intentions for the Muslim faith.
Okay, let me tell you something. If I come to invest in your business, my intentions are not pure. They are not noble. I want something out of it. I want a profit. I'm a businesswoman. I want a profit out of it. I'm not just giving you money and I'm telling you that zero interest rates. That's why Islamic banking has had the challenges it has had from Western financial institutions. Because when Westerners give you something, they want something in return, something greater than what they're giving.
Islamic banking is unrealistic. I had young ladies and young men on a platform just like this one, and they are trying to pitch it. It's unrealistic. How is it going to operate? No. Anything to operate, it has to have structures that will yield an income. But hey, take the money, don't bring interest. Hey.
No, but you see, in the contemporary world, you can say it's unrealistic. Because we are capitalists. I put in 10%, I want 110%. But if we were looking at having businesses that thrive and help common people, Islamic banking would be ideal. Because then people that have business ideas won't be scared to come to a bank and get money, because you expect 16%. In the money that you're giving them, which is utter exploitation. Because as a bank, what do you lose? If you give people money, they go grow your money and return your money, and they grow.
Even government that is supposed to give us things freely, there's tax.
Which government?
The Ugandan government.
Oh,
all governments. Just because they have to keep the system moving. So how is this system going to move? People, let's say for instance, you're given the opportunity to do PR. You need a salary. PR for the Islamic bank. You need a salary. Unless you have a grant or there's some way you're making the money back, how will you get a salary? You have a family.
Well, I am, for purposes of clarity, I am no expert in banking. But I think that the capitalistic economy, the money economy we have right now, does not support Islamic banking.
Okay, as we go for short break, you know we're digressing. There's so much to talk about and we cannot exhaust everything. But we go back. There's no way we can work. There's no way these countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, work on relations with these other countries, that the Muslim countries that are having coups. Who knows if the relations with their bigger brothers were good, we would not be having such coups.
Because first of all, look at what is happening in the Maghreb region. Look at Tunisia, look at Algeria, look at, okay, you start from Mauritania, stretch to Somalia, then go across. Look at Yemen. Yemen is destabilized by Iran on one side and Saudi and UAE on the other. So if you have the big brothers doing that in their own backyard, then please tell me how they are not going to do the same in West Africa, in a country that is as rich in minerals as Guinea, by a country that is as American-based as Saudi Arabia.
So would you blame then Doumbouya for getting help from EU, because I cannot trust my own brothers?
But I'm going to try and answer that question with a question. What do you think would have happened if Doumbouya and Alpha Conde sat down and figured out a solution for Guinea?
No, I don't sit down with incompetent people. We gave you 11 years, you've not done anything, I have taken over power, there is EU.
You didn't give him power. The people of Guinea gave Alpha Conde power.
The same thing, even me. No. I gave you power.
No, in as far as democracy is concerned, Mamadi Doumbouya, you want to be the president of Guinea, go to the population, speak. They will vote for you. That's democracy. That's what the EU tells us. That's what they believe in. That's what Washington believes in.
That's what ought to be.
No, that is what ought to be after 400 years of building politics. That's what happens. But you do not expect countries that have been independent for 60 years to behave with the same political maturity like you that has been
independent for just like
since 1648. It does not work like that. I think the whites are expecting the impossible out of Africa.
All right, now you can never put this lady on the wall. She always has her facts on hand. Now she says, I don't know whether you have an issue with the whites, but after the break, we find out you're live on the Muslim channel. We're broadcasting here at the .NET Broadcasters Studios, live, Salama Road in Munyonyo. Do not go away, we're live and we're coming back. Having issues with live streaming, producing content, look no further. The .NET Broadcasters Studios has come to take the pain away, to take the headaches away. Now, most people actually have issues with content creation, live streaming, links always breaking. That has been sorted. Just look no further. The number on your screen is a 24-hour customer service. Call them up, hit them up, and they'll definitely be able to get back to you. Now you can follow this discussion also on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do it for Shadrach Kisame, do it for the Muslim channel, do it for DBS. And then also click that bell for notifications and don't forget to subscribe. Now, in these last few minutes, Hajara, I always like to ask you this question. A normal citizen in Conakry, Guinea, that has seen for the last 11 years nothing has been happening, and now this man gets help from the EU that you think is not a good move, comes and they want to eradicate that. He sat on Sunday the other day in State House on live TV and promised them heaven on earth. What does this citizen have to do? What happens?
When I was still very busy admiring journalists, I saw a very, as in Senior 5, I saw a very huge block lettered, it was an article in the Daily Monitor titled Disillusionment. They were talking about the people of Tunisia and their achievements from the 2011 Arab Spring. It is the same with Guinea Conakry. You see, for us, we can sit here all day and castigate Alpha Conde for having done nothing for Guinea Conakry. But what did Secretary do? What did Lassana Cote do? And now we have a track record, we have a history of incompetence.
Failed presidents.
Yes. Then we have a man charged with the responsibility of caring for a president. He swore to protect him. And he breached his duty as a soldier, and he overtook leadership. Now, West African countries, Francophone countries are run by France, most of them. And there is nothing that is going to change, because now you look at a country that is really rich in minerals, but the citizens, like I said, are surviving on subsistence farming. For those of us that don't understand what subsistence farming is, you have your piece of land, Either it's huge or it's small, but you choose to cultivate the small one. You get 50 kilograms of beans. Yeah. You know that you're going to feed your family with 30, and you sell the 20 to obtain funds, to buy the salt, to buy the sugar, to buy, for those that can actually afford sugar. Yeah. But this, it's not that Guinea hasn't been running under the thumb of an EU country. Yeah, it has been. Yeah, yeah. Perhaps there has been a strain in the relationship with Alpha Conde, or someone just figured they wanted. For example, if you want to take over leadership in Uganda, you want to overthrow Museveni, but you have nothing much you can offer Washington. What you do is offer him more than Museveni is offering. You see, but now Museveni
is Museveni offering anything?
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm playing the devil's advocate. I don't know. Is Museveni offering anything?
If he wasn't, we would be having a few new leaders.
Disclaimer: these views are not for Muslim channel or for the .net broadcaster studio, but they are for her. Yeah.
The point is that the people are not the focal point of Mamadi Doumbouya. Yeah. He is there.
How do we know that?
Because to execute a coup, you need backing. To overthrow a president in hours, to coordinate that, you need backing. Which backing cannot come from the public. We saw youths of Guinea-Conakry on the street celebrating the overthrow. We know how us, the young ones, respond to leadership. We just think that the sitting president is the problem.
But Ahaja, let's paint a picture here. I'm married to my wife for a while. Been telling her a lot of things. She's not changing. I'm frustrated. I've talked to her parents. Nothing has happened. I'm like, you know what? Go back to your parents' house. This happens even in marriage. How about politics? You can't blame Doumbouya for going to the extremes because, hey, I've been your right-hand man. We've been seeing what's going on. We know you're not about to change. Why don't I take over and save the nation?
You know, the most beautiful part of all this is that if people sat on 27th of January 1971 discussing me, they would have castigated Obote for not fulfilling his promises. The same thing happened in Congo in the 60s when Mobutu, by the way, for what it's worth, Africa has had over 200 coups since independence. Over 200.
Wow.
But we have nothing going for the continent. We still depend on the West and, as of now, China for help.
So, are you saying that the Western people support these coups and nothing comes out of them?
The Westerners support coups, so nothing can come out of them.
Wow.
I'm not, well, for the record, I am not anti-Europeans or Americans. For the people, I'm not. For the leadership that thinks they can do whatever they want with whichever area they want, I have a serious problem with them as an African. First as an African, second as a Muslim. Africa is a mess, the Islamic world is a mess, thanks to whites.
So you forget to tame your house, you fail to tame your house as a man, and then you blame your bigger brother?
But I'm not exonerating me. I am not. I'm saying that we're incompetent. I'm saying that we have failed. But I am saying that the solution is within us.
What does this coup mean to presidents like Museveni?
For a man like Museveni, I really don't see the possibility of a coup. The man is aged. The man has soldiers that are either loyal to him or to his son.
This man was loyal for all those years.
It doesn't matter. Now think of the person that heads the special forces. That was Doumbouya. Now you look at the hierarchy. You don't expect Kainerugaba to do what Kabila did. Kabila Jr. what he did to Laurent. So I think Museveni's superpower is security and manning it and its sophistications. So in as far as overthrowing him using a coup, I think that's not a discussion we can have. I think we are not.
Really, does that make him very smart? Is he as sophisticated as it seems? Because there are no chances of a coup happening here.
We have a law in Uganda that points to annoying the person of the president. So I hope that what I'm about to say won't annoy the person of the president. If you look at the problems we have, if you look at corruption, if you look at nepotism, if you look at the incompetence, the sheer incompetence in public offices, if you look at the breakdown of institutions in this country, Museveni does not pass up as the smartest man in this country. He does not.
No, he passes off as the smartest because he's been able to keep you in that condition for this while. And you've done nothing.
Well, do you really think that Museveni wants the population to be in grappling poverty like it is? With foreign corporations closing, ShopRite, AfriCell, Game, we are seeing corporations packing up and leaving.
No, it's because of the force majeure, the calamity that's COVID.
You think that actually COVID that has been here for 2 years can force, because we are not seeing MTN packing, we are not seeing Airtel packing, we are not seeing AfriCell. Then we are not seeing other shops, supermarkets. They are facing challenges, yes, but they are not closing elsewhere. ShopRite hasn't closed in South Africa, but it is closing here. I am saying that Museveni is a strategic man. Perhaps the most strategic man I have seen in this age, because I think Mao Zedong would pass as better. However, smartest, debatable.
It is suspect. Now, we have come to the end of the show. So, finally, in the last few words, do you think the Africans and the Muslims are causing this for themselves?
We really have failed as a people. And I think, I normally tell my friends that I think every time we step on the African soil, it curses us. We have really failed. We sold each other into slavery. We wrote, the king of Uganda here wrote to whites, looking for gunpowder so he can overthrow the leadership of Bunyoro and annex Bunyoro. He brought us whites here. They amalgamated us into something ugly called Uganda. Now we don't know what to do with the tribalism. Now they unified us, we don't know what to do with the union. We are killing ourselves. You're seeing the Vijambe in massacre. We have failed ourselves as a people.
All right, now thank you very much, Hajara. You can never exhaust what Hajara has. She's always factual. You can never put her to the wall. Very much passionate about Africanicity. Now for this week's Week in Focus, Iceland Now, Iceland Today, Africa Now, Africa Today. We close and we'd like to say good night, good luck, adios, for God and my country, and may the good Lord bless this beautiful Uganda. Ciao.
Amen.